Okay, so we'll move toward solution. So in order to understand solution, we need to first understand homogeneous mixture that we have understood. So basically, solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. Okay. Now generally students get confused in solution. They tend to associate solution with only liquid solutions, but it's not the case, as solutions can be in the form of liquid, solid, or in gaseous state. So I'll give you example of each and every state. So in liquid, we have this salt slash sugar in water. This is the example of liquid solution. In solid solution, we have the example of alloys. Alloys are basically mixtures of two or three elements, and there are various purposes for why for uh, what we are aiming to attain. That is why we mix two three different metals sometimes, or sometimes metals are mixed with some other elements, non-metals, to make them to achieve that specific purpose. We'll take the example of brass. So brass is one such alloy in which we have mixture of zinc and copper. Okay, so brass is much sturdy as compared to copper. Hence, we to achieve a strengthened version of a copper substance, we added zinc and we ended up getting brass. So this is example of solid solution. Now the third one is gaseous solution. That is our common air. We see in our air we have many different gases mixed up in different proportions, but ultimately it ends up as being one. Now you might be wondering what is then the difference between homogeneous mixture and solution. See, there's a subtle difference between the two, as all all solutions can be called homogeneous mixtures, but it is not the other way around. That is, all homogeneous mixtures are not solutions. So what's the special quality of solution that differentiates it from homogeneous mixture? That is its completeness, oneness. In scientific terms, we call it single phase. Single phase. It simply means that you cannot differentiate between the particles in a solution. That means that if there is a solution in front of you, though it would be a homogeneous mixture, but you won't be able to separately tell that this is what is added in it or not. So it looks one, it looks complete, it looks like it is a single thing. Okay, are you getting me? Otherwise, otherwise, what do we say? Granite mixed in proper granite. What do we say? Granite rock. You might have seen that it is a mixture of different substances like this. So though it follows a certain pattern, but there are different substances that are visible to us. But in a solution, there is no such substance that is visible to you. Differentiated substance. It appears one when seen, and it acts as one. So similarly, if we see air, we cannot tell that there is nitrogen or oxygen, although we need to do scientifically testing. Then only we can come to a conclusion that what are the constituents in it. Similarly, in solid solution that are alloys, we only after scientific testing in laboratories we can come to a conclusion what are the constituents. Similar with the liquid solution. So just by seeing a water in which proper amount of salt, that is saturated amount of salt, is mixed, you cannot tell without tasting that this water contains salt or some other sugar particles. So this is what makes it unique from homogeneous mixtures. So solutions are unique So solutions are uniform, and they are in a single phase. That means you cannot differentiate, and this is the oneness is the only special quality that makes it separate from other homogeneous mixtures which are not complete or which do not appear to be uniform. Now we'll move towards the constituents or the components of solution. So in solution we have two component. Basically solution is made up of two component, that is solute and solvent. So the thing which is generally we tend to remember this way, but it is not the true way to understand this. But for the understanding sake, we can take the same methodology. That is, the little amount or the substance which is less in number or amount is called solute, and the amount which is more, substance which is more, is called solvent. So if we are dissolving salt in water, salt here is less, then it would be a solute, and water would be solvent. The technical definition of solute and solvent is the amount that is being dissolved in a substance. The amount which is being dissolved is called solute, irrespective of the quantity. Irrespective of the quantity and the amount in which the substance is dissolved, it becomes solvent. So sometimes we have 50% of substance, so that this suppose like alloy, we talked about brass, in which we had understood that it is made up of zinc and copper. So though we mix it with 70% copper and 30% zinc, but for imagination sake we take any substance in which 50% of both the substances are added. So in that substance, both the substance can be called solute and solvent. It is just a technical term to understand the what is basically being added to a substance. So the amount which is less, the substance which is being added to a substance with more in volume or mass, is called solute, and the other is called solvent. Okay, then we'll move towards properties of solution. So we'll discuss some properties of solution. Number one property is solution is a homogeneous mixture. You already know this, homogeneous mixture. This is a property of solution. And second property is that the particles of solution are very small, that is at nanoscale. Hence it cannot be seen with naked eyes. You need microscopic lenses, or I would say the the power of even the microscopic lenses would be required in much larger amount, so to see the ultra fine particles which constitute a solution. So they are at nanoscale, that is 1 nanometer, so small. Number third is that the particles of solution does not scatter beam of light. There is no scatter beam of light. So what does it mean? That if you have this, for example, we have this liquid solution and there is a beam of light, there is a source of light, and this is the beam, it would pass as it is. It would not scatter. Scattering is, so this is a beam, incident ray, this is a particle, and scattering is this, the light getting dispersed basically. So this is scattering. This won't be visible in solution, so we cannot determine the path of the light from where it originated, from where it is going. But in when we see scattering, we can easily determine the path, the direction of the light. So this is a special quality that is why we call it very uniform or single phased solution. Single phased. Okay. Then we have that solute particles, as we talked 5 minutes before, that solute is a substance which is being dissolved in a solvent. So solute particles cannot be separated by physical methods easily or through filtration. So is not successful in filtration is not successful in separating the solute from solvent. Fifth property is, if left undisturbed, the particles of solute won't settle beneath the solution. So it is not that if you left the glass of water containing salt in a saturated manner, that it would the salt would settle down beneath the solution. So it would stay in the state it was before. So this is the fifth property of the solution. We are done with the properties.